And the real purpose is without the connection to the real worlds, we're just, how did he put it, like soap bubbles. It's pretty meaningless, and how that even in our dreams, we the influence can be in our dream visions. I thought that made me wonder, is that something like people dream about their love lives or their fortunes or their cars or whatever it is, how this influence can even be in a person's dream visions. It was interesting, too, how logic and reason aren't what it takes to get to real guidance and real education. Anyway, each one of us makes the choice whether we're going to listen when the opportunity is presented and given or not.
Yes, Tim, and also there's a part here that Dwayne talked about. The man has outcreated himself, or almost created too much. This is kind of interesting. If you think usually creation, creative person is looked upon as a cool, pretty cool person, or somebody who's accomplished in this world, like an artist or a sculptor or a writer, actor. But if you're not relating anything, your creations, to what's real, then it can get really distorted fast. The Indians, the indigenous people, they were creative in their own way, how they used the animal spirits, they became animals, or they, with their dances, with their artwork. I mean, most of it was related to the whole natural environment. So their creations made sense in a way, to them at least. But here, with the technology and the way things are, it's really getting distorted here with the creations. So man is basically out-creating himself. He's using his free will to create things that are no longer of a benefit for him. And it's just time for people to wake up to see that it's not going the way it's marketed. The world is going down, and it's time to wake up for everybody here.
I was just noticing, too, that he was mentioning how religion and politics are the main businesses on Earth, and so many of the population is so paying attention to the religions of this world that are created, and the politics, too, instead of paying attention to why they came here. And this is part of our wake-up, this real education and this real guidance being offered. So when it's presented to the masses, it also must be, they must be told that is how important this really is, unless they want to stay in these psych realms and be slaves for reptilians and be robotized and controlled what they can do. And it's the opposite of the real universes, where there's real freedom and real love. And so we have a comparison. You'd think that everybody that would listen and pay attention and read the new books and would get the idea that of the comparison, would want to escape this human farming prison planet.
To discover real truth, one must be willing to be daring and risk everything they carry with them to clearly see reality. As the shadow appears in a person's dreams, it will take on many different forms to where it can hardly be noticed. It can appear as a friend, a seductive woman or man, or even disguised as a savior or saint. Or, to name a few, a movie star. Like in The Devil's Advocate, a very good deception of how the influence works is portrayed. The devil in the movie simply provides the influence and even tells the person that he is trying to seduce that it has been his choice all along, and that he, being the devil, did not make any of the choices of what the hero and his life has become to be. And so, even when the hero in the movie thinks he is past the influence, he walks right back into its web, as is demonstrated at the end of the movie. This is how the human ego is. It goes back and forth from good to bad, and when it feels it has done good, it now thinks everything is fine. What is not seen and must be shown to one is the real side of life, above the dualistic forces that shadow the minds and emotions of humans. This is how society sees himself, as doing the right thing according to all the rules and regulations it follows, which is supposed to be good for it, but takeovers disguised and protecting the innocent. When we make sense of what has been provided and established in the way of the so-called right thinking and doing, we find a lot of flaws, and mainly the end results being a convicted demise. Just because someone invented the piston engine, we can get around faster. Was someone invented that seemed to be in a good idea at the time, which doesn't mean that the fumes from it will kill by somebody, but so it is. With so many good ideas which have been and are now affecting the entire planet more than ever. All of what we are experiencing is a blatant, eliminatory awareness of humans. Yet very few will admit it. Even with all the natural evidence right in front of everyone, which has always been workable, there are always those who want to change, and change what actually works. They're already into something that sounds good, but finally falls and ruins so much real guidance. It's a real cure for all. Until each person who is searching to real truth accepts the real universal guides as the true way showers, then mankind will continue to decline and fall victim to the ways of the mind, as has been so in the past. With all the elements involved with the mystery of one's real awareness and unawareness, it is found that the unconscious part, with all that influences it, does not spare the dreamer at all. The dream experience can take the most righteous person according to their own idea of themselves and shove their face in it until the dirt through which they have the lowliest of the creatures. The shadow will feed on anything of a derogatory nature and is usually the same sex as the dreamer. The character that has been created from all the collected agreements come in many disguises. The shadow has its own strengths, as I have personally wrestled with it many times. It is its own cunning entity which moves along the lines of the slithering slime in the lower areas, as it sets out to block all achievements to one becoming successful from escaping from these lower levels. The real gods help us to take care of this culprit to where it is basically gone as they protect their new students. One cannot get rid of everything here entirely because the dualistic forces assist in the lower realms and they will continue on. So it is a matter of adjustment. Like a person sails in the wind. We cannot rid of all the flies and bugs on the earth because they have a purpose here. And so what we can do is prepare ourselves to handle whatever it is that we have to. The rep systems do not come close to the real guidance of the is. There is no comparison of the existing educational processes of the world will definitely not agree, as they will do everything in their power to maintain a huge hold on each and every unaware soul. And with that,
why don't we we have a caller from Corpus Christi. Maybe she can help us end the program here with a comment. Or are you there, Corpus Christi? I guess not. Okay.
No, we can't get Claudie, darn. We'll have to invite her sometime.
Hello?
Yes. Hello.
I'm here now.
Oh, great.
Yes, the words are very clarifying. Sometimes it's so hard to understand what's going on the real side because a lot of hints are given. Like they'll give you a hint, but they won't tell you the answer because we have to figure out the answer ourselves. So it's like in school. The teacher does not tell you the answer to the test. You have to figure it out yourself. So every time we get an opportunity to see or get some information clarified so that it's brought down to my level, simple, easy words, then I can understand more. And this allows me a freedom that I did not have before. So much of everything that happened in my life was under the direction of a religious organization or a government organization. All of the people on the planet Earth apparently have this same dilemma to deal with. You spend your life working at a 9-to-5 job, and then you come home, eat some supper, get the kids ready for school, give them the bath, or get them ready for school tomorrow, and you finally have a few minutes to yourself, and it's very small. the time is taken up by, oh, I have to fill out these forms, or, oh, I have to go to a service every week at the same time. And yes, there are moments of enjoyment in things that we see in life, like to go to the forest or maybe to the beach. We have a few moments in the natural environment that we used to be used to, but we've forgotten so much. We've forgotten the times that we spend walking on soft grass. Even if we do have it, it may have chemicals on it. And if we breathe the air, it may be filled with chemtrail dust that is not good for us. And even the water we drink has to be purified and has to be corrected so much with chemicals. So those of us who wish to go back to the all-natural environment, we can band together and agree that this would be a good thing, and possibly this will help others. Thank you very much for this time.
Oh, that's wonderful, Claudia. You really, really said it so well. And with that, Lila's time has come to an end. The bedtime stories that we all have listened to tonight, they can give us a wonderful insight in how our dreams will be. Good night, everyone. See you next time. And thank you all for a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Lila.
And good night.
Good night.
Good night. And I'll see you soon. Talk to you again soon. Thank you. And good night, all. Pleasant dreams.
Good night. Happy dreams. New you.